welcome along to Friday Forum Live. My name's Luke Hopper. I'm a member of the Point Blank team and I'm here joined today by tutor and course developer Ski Oakenfull for this week's edition of Friday Forum Live. So, for those that don't know, Friday Forum Live is basically your chance to learn a bit more about Point Blank, learn a bit more about what we do here, and also to get into a kind of a live tutorial really, something a bit more technical. So yeah, make sure you get involved in the chat room, post all your questions in there. Me and Ski will try and run through as many as possible. Anything from general stuff about Point Blank, about the courses, you know, online, in the college. And also if you have any kind of technical stuff, then you know, feel free to post in there as well. So yeah, Ski is here to give us a bit of an insight into the new Ableton Live device that we've created. It's a riser device that we've created with kind of Max for Live, and you can actually check that out if you go to our Facebook page. We actually have the device for free download. So if you head to the Facebook page, click on the Ableton Riser tab just along the front there, and you'll be able to download for free the Ableton Riser. You might have to be logged in as a person, not a page. But yeah, so you can just check it out over on the Facebook and download it right there. We've also got to say that on Monday, the 29th of October, is the next round of DJ courses and full online courses as well. So if you head to pointblankonline.net, you'll be able to check out the full range. Everything begins as of Monday, and there are still some places left. So if you do want to get involved in a course, then jump on it and get involved. So that's enough from me. As I say, get posting in the chat room. In a little bit, we'll come over there and we'll check out some of the questions. But I'm going to hand you over to Ski now, and he's going to jump into a bit of a tutorial. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Luke. Cheers. Okay, so I've downloaded this device. It's a Max for Live device. Obviously, you need to have Max for Live installed with your Ableton. And I've downloaded it. I've put it, kind of, there's instructions basically of like what to do with it, where to put it. And I believe that's also on the tutorial video that's up as well. So you can find it here in the instrument section in the devices. I've actually created a folder. There's this Max Instrument folder here, and I've created a Point Blank folder, which I put it in, and it's called Point Blank Riser. So what I'm going to do is drag it onto an empty MIDI channel here, and it comes up like this. And basically what this is, it's a kind of like swoosh effect. It's a classic effect. I mean, you hear it so much in kind of all types of music, especially kind of house music. And probably before, it's something that I would have created using the analog device or the operator device, using kind of a cutoff frequency with an envelope. But this just makes it so much simpler. You know, you have just, well, there are like 4 sections to it, which I'll quickly run through in a minute. And it's just like a kind of instantaneous device. It's going to be so handy. I'm going to be using it from now on all the time. But anyway, let's have a listen to it. I've just dragged it over, and we've got 4 different sections here. We've got this noise section, which is the first one. Then there's an envelope section. Then there's a synth section, and then there's an LFO section as well. So if I just literally just hit a keyboard, let's just see what comes out. So you can hear this kind of rising effect. There's a very, very small display at the bottom. You can actually sort of see this little dot kind of running along the actual envelope. The first thing I want to do, I mean, that's actually lasting for 8 bars. Let's just make it 1 bar, and you can see what it's going to sound like. Obviously, it's 1 bar according to whatever the tempo is, which I'm at 123 at the moment. So there we go. So we've basically got this envelope, which is a cutoff being applied to. It's actually like a low pass filter. We can change that to a high pass filter, or this one, band pass filter. And we've got a Q control here, which controls the resonance, which is really nice. As well as a riser, there's a faller as well. So basically, the riser is something that will be leading up to a new section. So if like had an 8-bar section, it'd be coming in the last bar, and then you kick in with a crash or something. Whereas the faller would be more like coming on the start of the next section, a bit like a crash cymbal. So we also have a rise and fall, which is quite nice, and this one, which is a fall and rise. And then we have these ones here. We've got some nodes. It gives you like 5 different nodes, so you can sort of drag these around, and you can really kind of shape, sculpt the envelope how you like. So, but let's just start off with this riser. And I thought what I'd do is just see how we can incorporate it into a track. So I've just sort of put together a quite sort of basic house groove, and I'm going to kind of record something in. To a clip in Ableton, and then use my APC40 to kind of trigger it and sort of see how it can work. And then maybe we can also record a few of those in, and we can have some sort of different options. We can also look at the synth section as well. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to record that into an empty clip. I'm going to do that now. Let's turn the metronome on, and let's record this in. We've also got this button here. I forgot to mention actually. It's a trigger button, and basically, if we with the trigger on, then we literally just have to sort of press the MIDI note once, and it will play for the entirety of that bar. But if we take it off, then it will only play for however long we hold the note down. So I'll have it on that setting for the moment. So let's record this into an empty clip. So there we go. We put it in. I'm just going to set that to 1 bar, take the loop off, there we go, and we should have it there. So we can then trigger that from the APC40. Let's kind of spice up the sound a bit. Let's try an effect on it, maybe a ping pong delay. It's going to give it some nice kind of stereo-ness. There we go. So let's have a quick play of the track, and I'll just show you how we can incorporate it into our arrangement. Just take the metronome off. Got a few controller knobs assigned here, one to the cutoff frequency of this synth sound. I'll maybe go through those in a bit. Got a reverb send as well on that. So let's trigger the next scene. So I'm now going to trigger this riser. It's a little bit loud at the moment, it's going to turn it down. So you can see it's coming in the bar just before the next section. I'm also stopping the drums for that 1 bar as well. So you can see it's a pretty cool effect. And what I think we could do, what we should do is maybe record this into an audio track, and then we can try out some alternatives. Maybe we can try a faller, with using the synth part of the device as well. So. Let's go for that. I'm just going to create an audio track next to that, and select the input here, audio from riser. There we go. And just going to literally just turn the monitoring off. I'm just going to hit record. Also, I'm going to set this to pre-effect. So we're not going to pick up the ping pong delay that's on that. We're just literally going to get the kind of raw riser sound. So let's just do that, and let's record that in. Here we go. So we've now got that into an audio clip. There we go. So we can mute that now, and hopefully that should play. So it's very loud. Let's put a ping pong delay on that as well. There we go. I'm going to take looping off that as well. We don't want to keep it looping around. Okay, so we've got one. Let's try something different now. Let's try a faller. So let's go back to here and just play this track. Let's try messing around with the synth section. So you can see now this envelope is actually affecting the pitch, and we can affect the lowest note and the highest note. At the moment it's going right up to F8, it's quite high, so let's just take that down a bit. Just take the ping pong delay off for the moment. And we've got a few oscillators here, that's a sine wave, we could try a triangle, got a saw. And yeah, let's change it to a faller. Pretty cool. And let's have a look at the LFO section as well. Let's give it a bit of a wobble. Put the ping pong delay on again. Okay, so let's play the tune and see what that sounds like. So really having some fun with that. So let's record that in as well. So we've got that as an option, and we can just sort of, have a few of these, and then we can maybe try recording into an arrangement. So let's do that. Let's just create another track, another audio track. Do exactly the same thing. Let's take the input as the riser. Let's take it to pre-effects. There we go. And just turn the monitoring off. Let's record this in. So we should have that in now. There we go. Cool, same thing, take the looping off. Let's give it a bit of ping pong delay. There we go. Just take out the original. Getting quite loud. We've got that one now. And we've got this riser. Cool, so let's maybe try recording that into an arrangement, and then we can, I think to start with, I'll just try putting in this riser, and then we can record over the top maybe the falling one as well. So let's give it a go. Okay, so I'm just going to hit record. There we go, and I'll try and record in some of these controllers as well. Okay, here we go. Should be able to see it going in there. Put the next one in now. Cool, so you can see it's kind of put those clips in there, which is pretty cool. And now we could try putting this one in. So let's try recording that over the top. Just disarm that. Let's go for that. recorded all that automation, which is pretty cool. So there you go. I mean, it's you know, you can see how powerful this device is. You can really create some good effects, and you know, there's just like any number of things we can do. It's like a, you know, it's a synthesizer in its own right, really. So it's cool. So I don't know if there's any questions that have come in.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of questions. Let's have a look. There's a couple of shout outs, really. There's a couple of regulars in the chat room. Big ups to all of you guys. Also, I see Rough Tracks in there. I think I know who that might be. Commenting on your hat, actually, Ski.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Complimentary.
Right, so we've got a question from Wolf Pyroman. I think it's a regular viewer to FFL. He's asked, first of all, can the device itself, like the riser, be used as an effect on something like a ride cymbal, for example? I think it's more of a standalone thing.
It's an instrument device, so it's not an audio effect. So no, is the answer.
He's also asked about separate from the device itself, about the stab sound, the synth. He's asked if you could let us into how you made that.
Absolutely, yeah, okay. So let's have a look at that. So basically, I'm using a chord device on this, and the main instrument device is an analog. So I'll just play it to you now. So this is the sound, just using this square wave here, and on the filter section I've got this got envelope filter using a very sort of tight cutoff here. You can hear that. And I've also got some reverb on there as well. And as far as the chord goes, let me have a look at the chord, because we're going to get into some EMC territory here, which is cool. So let me just bring up my keyboard. Okay, so the chord that I've put in is a minor 9. It's my favourite chord, and if we have a root position minor 9, it's this chord here. So going up from the root note, I'm playing D minor 9. The root note is D. We've got the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and the 9th. Now, if we kind of keep holding this, our left hand, I'm playing this bottom root note with my left hand. If we just move the notes up to a different inversion in the right hand, if we take this F, we kind of jump over, we play it up here, and then we take the A, jump over here, we get this chord here, and we keep playing this in the bass, and we have our kind of slightly different inversion of a minor 9. And this is what I've programmed into the chord device. Just basically going up from this D, going up in semitones is how it works. So the first note is a C, so we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I won't go through all of them there, but we've got 10 semitones, 14 semitones, 15 semitones, and 19 semitones. And then that means that when we turn it on, we just have to hit one note. So I've done that. I've also assigned this controller knob here, my Oxygenate, to cutoff frequency. So we get this really nice kind of usable sound. I've also assigned a reverb send as well on that. So if I just solo that now. And obviously when I recorded this into the arrangement, it recorded the automation data, so that's kind of playing back from there now. So, so yeah. I don't know if you want to hear about anything else. I just kind of used some sort of bass line under that as well. Again, that was created with the analog device.
Cool. We've got a couple more questions coming in about the device itself.
Sure.
People asking, obviously it's a Max for Live device, so it's an Ableton only device at the moment.
Yeah.
But there are people asking if there's a similar way to achieve, you know, the same kind of sweeps and falls if you were to use like a synth like ES2 or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, I could kind of quickly demonstrate how to create that using analog.
Okay.
This is actually, if I recall, it's actually a section in the Deep House, Ableton Deep House courses. Might well be in the Logic one as well. I know Danny kind of got into that. Yeah. So, and like I said at the start, this is kind of before this came along. This is how I would achieve these effects.
Yeah, yeah. So this is just a quicker way.
It's a much quicker way of doing it. So it's great. So let's create a new MIDI track here. And let's just drag over an analog. There we go. Okay, so we're going to select for our oscillator a white noise down here. And let's go over to the amplitude section first. And let's just make this, let's just put up the decay. There we go, so it's more of a sort of constant sound. And let's go up to the filter section now. And I'm just adjusting this filter cutoff, and you can already hear that we're kind of getting that effect. If I turn up the resonance, it's going to be a bit more aggressive. There we go. But what we want to do is to kind of automate that, so we can literally just hold down the key and it's going to affect that frequency cutoff for us. And we can do that using the envelope section. Before I do that, I'm just going to, at the moment we're on a low pass filter, I'm going to select the band pass. You just get a bit more of a kind of defined sound there. Cool, so what we're going to do is just turn up this envelope setting here. And this is going to apply our filter envelope to the actual filter cutoff. So what I'm doing now is adjusting the decay, and this is basically how long it takes to get from the top to the bottom. So often have to kind of get a compromise between the actual envelope amount that we put on and the decay time as well, and also the actual initial frequency cutoff. So you can hear already we've got that kind of sound. And then we can go to the actual amplitude section as well and just increase the release time. And we can do a similar thing as well. We could increase the attack so we get more of a rising sound. And then again, just to top it off, put a bit of ping pong delay on it, and we have a very sort of similar effect. But obviously you can see that took about 5 minutes to create that, but with Dan Herbert's device, it's like pretty much instantaneous. So yeah, it's really handy. So
it's something you just keep on hand to kind of ease the flow of the track, really, build up and kind of break down.
Yeah.
Cool. We've got a couple more questions coming in. Let's have a quick look.
There's also, I was going to say as well, there's Dan Herbert's other device, Max for Live device, which is the sidechain. Works really well with this as well. I could kind of quickly show you what that sounds like.
Yeah, let's see that, definitely.
Yeah. So let's just go back to this. And so basically this one is in the audio effects section. It's not an instrument, it's an actual effect that we can put on any kind of audio. So let's drag that just after this analog that I was just working on here. And if I just solo this, you can hear it's working really nicely. You can affect the amount.
So it really pumps it.
Exactly. But, you know, we could put that on the kind of the whole mix. We could put it on just this. That might sound pretty good on these chords, actually, these kind of long sustained chords in this section. You get that classic sort of pumping effect. So again, I'd highly recommend this. It's also available for free, I think.
That's
isn't
right.
it?
Yeah. Again, if you head over to probably the blog.
Yeah, the YouTube video.
Or the YouTube video, yeah. So if you go back through the YouTube channel, you should see a whole video that we did around that sidechain device, and in the description there, you'll get the download. Yeah, the free download. Again, the same with the riser. If you head to the kind of tutorial video around that, in the description is the link.
Dan is undoubtedly the man.
He's the man on Max for Live. That's
he
for
is
sure.
the man, yeah.
Cool. We've got a question from The Influence, who's asked on the riser, if there's a way to go from, his example goes from A to Z and back to A. So I guess going up and back down.
Yeah, totally. That is, if we go to the envelope section here, just go back to this. And at the moment it's just on a simple faller, but if we just go to the rise and fall, and we can apply that to the synth or the noise effect as well.
You can probably shape that anyway.
You can, yeah, I touched on that earlier. If you just go down to the last two settings here, the riser and faller, we have these 5 nodes, so you can really kind of sculpt this envelope. That's over 4 bars at the moment. Let's make it 1 bar again. So yeah, that's probably what he was referring to.
I think that's bang on. Yeah. Also, Joe Carlo has asked about the ping pong delay that you've used on the riser. He said that it adds you know, so much depth to the sweep.
Yeah.
He's asked about the settings for the delay itself.
Oh right, God, well I didn't do much at all, to be honest. I just dragged that over, and there are not too many settings. The main one to think about is well, if you have it as an insert actually on this riser channel, you just have to think about the dry wet value. So obviously if you had it like 100% wet, you'd only get the kind of effect, the ping pong effect. So it's getting it so that I normally have a lot more of the dry signal than the wet signal. If we put that on a return channel, then we just make it 100% wet, because we don't want any of the original signal. We just want the just the actual effect itself. So we've got that. It's syncing to the tempo at the moment. We've got these kind of beat divisions here. And yeah, then there's the feedback. The feedback controls how much it delays, how much it carries on. So if we put that to a really kind of low percentage, you can see it doesn't really last very long. But if we put it up, you can hear it's kind of going on for a lot longer. So it's just basically the fact that it's ping pong, so it's just really kind of adding a lot of depth to the stereo field. It's really nice, really kind of brings it out. I mean, you could put reverb on that as well, even sort of phase or flange or something, and you can create some really interesting effects with the ping pong delay.
Okay, cool. We've got Wolfgang Beast has actually said that he doesn't think it's something that applies to the hip hop genre, so he's going back to bed. But to be honest,
oh man, don't go back to bed.
I think, to be honest, you shouldn't be in bed at 1 o'clock on a Friday anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
I think you probably could make use of it. I think it is a pretty versatile tool, to be honest.
It's like it's got that real kind of dub siren effect as well. You know, you could kind of almost use it as a DJ tool. And
if you keep it subtle, I mean, even then you're kind of, you know, if you hold back from being too in your face, I think you could definitely make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, try it out, you know, have a go.
Check it out, yeah. It's quite a powerful thing. I mean, it's a synth in its own right, you know, it's really cool. Okay, cool.
We've got a couple more shout-outs actually, out to Brian, who's locked in Dublin, and DigiC, who's locked in from Croatia. We've got also The Influencers asked if you can load existing sweeps or samples into the device. You can't, can you? It's an instrument itself, right?
No. What I did forget to mention is the fact that all these settings are assignable to controllers. So, for example, the LFO, just take the ping pong delay off of it. We could assign that, if we just hit the MIDI button here, click on that amount, we could assign that to a controller. So you're going to and really adds some versatility to that. And you could assign that to the cue, to all types of things, you know. Oh, I tell you what, I forgot to mention this FM section as well. That's kind of quite interesting. You know, you can get some quite kind of dirty, dubsteppy type effects here with this FM section. Which begins a sine wave. Really reminds me of my old Yamaha DX7 from back in the day, that kind of vibe. But yeah, so yeah, pretty powerful, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I guess as well, like kind of leading on from the assigning, it's not a bad tool for live performance with Ableton.
Yeah,
You
completely.
could definitely make use of it.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, I was sort of demonstrating that earlier on where I kind of was launching it from a clip, so especially with this APC-40, you know, it's just, you could have, unfortunately, and maybe Dan might correct me, but I think you can only have one device sort of per project, one riser device, which is why I was recording in some different sounds. But I mean, that's such an easy process, that sort of resampling thing. But yeah, I mean, totally. You know, with if you assign some controllers and whatever, it could be great for live performance. Definitely.
Okay, we've got a question from Lupz Dutt, who's actually asked about courses. So yeah, slightly different, but he said that he's into kind of deep house and new disco, and kind of other styles of music as well. And he's asked. He's just finished the sound design class. What would be the kind of lead on from that, deep house or EMC? I guess you're pretty good. You teach both of those. Right?
They're the two courses that I'm on at the moment. So
they kind of complement each other, I'd say.
Well, from what we've seen, you know, the EMC seems to complement a lot of the courses. You know, a lot of the production courses and mixing courses, because it's, you know, it's fantastic to know how to sculpt sounds and to make beats and all those production things. But then there's a whole other side to it, to actually kind of playing some music, putting in bass lines and chords and melodies and that kind of stuff. So I think that EMC complements pretty much all the courses that are on Point Blank at the moment. But certainly, you know, there's of all the kind of genres, I think deep house and soulful house is probably the most musical, really.
Yeah.
Danny developed the course, and you know, he kind of goes into the chord device and you know, actually kind of naming the chords and putting in bass lines and that kind of thing. So certainly you're going to get a bit of that with the deep house course. I'd thoroughly recommend it. Yeah,
I think you know, the EMC course has been so popular. The feedback's been incredible. I mean, the deep house course has been around for a little bit longer. But yeah, I mean, you can check them both out over on pointblankonline.net. They're both, you know, the same kind of duration, the same kind of course with different styles. I mean, I'd probably recommend maybe getting involved in the electronic music composition course, bearing in mind that you've just finished sound design. And then from there, you know, speak to the course advisors, drop us an email, and, you know, they might be able to look at doing a deal if you want to do both. I'm sure they can hook you up. So let's head back over to the chat room. Okay, we've got, oh right, okay, so Zoran has asked, bearing in mind that we're looking at a riser device, can you explain how to make a reverb riser that's used in kind of tech house in the main breakdown? So I mean, I guess that's the reverb just building up and up and up.
Yeah, that would be a sort of different. If it's not sort of so in keeping with this device. I'd imagine it's.
You could automate the send to a reverb or something like that.
Yeah. That would be the kind of thing. I mean, I suppose, you know, I was doing a bit of that with this sound here, this chord sounds. It's just. Yeah, that kind of thing where you could automate that and kind of, you know, build that right up into a section. That would definitely be the way I would do that.
Yeah, it sounds pretty tech housey, that kind of getting the space bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and then kind of like chopping it. Sometimes, you know, that you can record that reverb onto a separate track, and then you can like literally sort of cut it dead. Or you could do that with automation as well. But
you could bounce it to audio, and then you've got a little reverb effect, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
cool. Another question, Philip, who's asked about the Deep House again, the course, he's asked if you're the tutor, if you're the guy that does the DVRs, or if you just develop the course.
For the Deep House course?
Yeah.
Okay, no, Danny J. Lewis developed the course, but yeah, I am the tutor, so I'm the one doing the weekly masterclasses and also the DVRs as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's worthwhile explaining really. If you don't know about DVR, you know, if you have checked out the courses, DVR is basically a kind of unique feedback service that we give. We're the only school in the world that does it. As you enroll on a course, you know, if you did enroll on Deep House with Ski, each week as you go through the content, you'll have a kind of assignment. You know, it would be working on your music, working on track or a specific element of a track, and then you get to upload this straight to Ski, the whole project as an Ableton file or a Logic project. And Ski will provide you with a video, you know, one-on-one, going through the project, analysing what you could improve, what you could change. You know, you can also provide kind of a slight kind of directions to Ski as well. You know, you can upload the project with some text about what you'd like him to maybe look at or what you think could do with improving, etc.
I always get a lot of kind of reference tracks. You know, people sending me like YouTube links. And it's like, you know, this is what I'm totally into, like a Jimpster track or whatever. You know, how can I achieve this effect? You know, and then I can then use that as a reference for the DVR to kind of pick out sounds or arrangements or whatever. And
so you're kind of getting a tailored feedback to you know what you want really.
Yeah.
And it's an excellent way to get, you know, one-on-one with a pro, you know, a professional producer who's going to kind of take your tracks to that next level really and get what you want out of them. So yeah, it's worth kind of noting that our courses aren't just, you know, kind of tutorial videos. They're fully interactive. You get kind of one-on-one feedback each week. You can also watch the whole class's DVRs as well. So you can learn, you know, from everyone and their way of working and kind of feed off each other really.
And I think that the masterclass features are, you know, really working well now. It's like sort of fully video.
That's right.
And there's, you know, you can kind of, as a student, you can see the screen, you can see like the tutor in a little box in the corner, you can hear the output of the computer. And, you know, there's a sort of opportunity a few days before each masterclass to put in requests for the tutor to, you know, topics to discuss in masterclass. But then, you know, we generally kind of go over the content for that week. And then also kind of do like some demonstration, or if there's anything that they want to do, like, you know, like I referred to earlier, looking at a track, a reference track, then I can break that down. You know, I do the same thing in the EMC class. We'll break it down and just see what's going on. And I often kind of then provide the MIDI parts from that as well, so that the students can kind of experiment with it.
And that's real time as well, isn't it? So you're getting a live class. You get to ask Ski questions in real time and see his screen, see what he's working on there and then, really. Yeah,
and if you know you're working, you miss it, then it's recorded and it kind of goes up in the forum straight afterwards. So you can, it's like another kind of tutorial in a way. You can always refer to it.
Yeah, if you just kind of on the masterclasses and the DVR, if you head over to pointblankonline.net, there's a tab across the top which is the About tab, and underneath that you'll see what makes us unique. So that's quite a good video. It gives you a bit more of an explanation of exactly what DVR and the masterclasses are. So definitely worthwhile checking that out and taking a look at the video. Let's have a quick look. We've got a question. Yeah, this one's from Al Coscino, who's asked, who's asked when we're going to upload the FOMO masterclass. That's something that we should have this week, shouldn't we? Really, really shortly. You can access it on the BAT TV channel though. So if you go to BAT TV and you hit the Point Blank Music School channel, in the archive section under the events, you'll see all the masterclasses from FOMO, Zombie Disco Squad, Claude Von Stroke, the whole lot really. It's also worth pointing out, while we're on the kind of masterclass side of things, we've got CR2 Records coming in next week, I think, to do a live A&R session. So you can submit your tracks to CR2. They'll give you live feedback. You know, they're looking to sign tunes as well. So if you want to be in the chance with getting your tracks signed to them, then definitely get involved. You can find out more info on that one over on the blog, pointblankonline.net/blog. and you should see live CR2 A&R demo, so you can find out all the info, how to submit your tunes, etc. Right, so we've got let's just have a quick look in the chat room here. Oh, we've got some props for you, Ski, saying you're a very talented and good shooter.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Some people posting in, unfortunately I can't understand the language, Croatian maybe. Oh, we've got the influencers asked if you can make the kind of riser effect with white noise. I think you did show that.
That is, I mean, the first section of the device is basically white noise, and just quickly demonstrate that. So we're on the synth section at the moment. You can actually have the noise and the synth together, but just if you just have this one, it is totally white noise. And I kind of demonstrated that using the analog as well, the fact that you have this sort of white noise setting there. But it's white noise, yeah.
Well, I think just going through the chat room, it seems that that's probably the end of the questions, and we'll probably wrap things up there, really, to be honest.
Cool.
So yeah, many thanks to Ski for taking the time out. Also, big up to everybody locking in today. This obviously will be archived pretty much straight away on the YouTube channel. And again, if you want to get your hands on the riser, just head to the description of the video. You'll see the link to download it. So that's it from us, and we'll be back next week for the next edition of Friday Forum Live. Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.